hear you, and hope you hear me as well.
We do. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. Yep. Great. Finally. Yeah, it's now regular kickoff for the programming contest on developer community, and here is Evgeny Shvarov, developer ecosystem manager, and also Carmen Logue, our product manager for analytics in InterSystems. Hi everyone again, and so today we want you to invite to yet another programming contest, and now we invite you to build analytic solutions with InterSystems IRIS and different tools available, and you have plenty of them, so we have many, and you have different options. You can do a lot with that, and today we will try to introduce you what are the tools you can build analytics solutions with InterSystems IRIS, and what do we expect from you as participants of the contest. Okay, great. So Carmen, I want to give you a floor to shed us a light. What is the situation with analytics tools and options with InterSystems technology? Okay.
Sure. Thanks, Evgeny. Yeah, and thanks again, everybody. I'm going to just share some slides just because it helps to kind of organize thoughts around this. And then I'm also going to share just some quick, like how to get in some of the tools sort of demos too. Yeah, I lightly call them demos because it's really just giving you some information about how to get to some places. So we have, as Evgeny mentioned, we have a number of options with analytics, and in general, our strategy is to have embedded solutions as well as to integrate with third parties. So the things that I'm going to talk about here really briefly are some things that there's some changes that we made in IRIS 2021.1. So there's some newer things which you guys have seen, and then we're also going to open up for the competition something that we are actually still in the process of kind of bringing out of testing and integration. So you'll see what that is too. So you're going to be doing you have the option to do some things kind of at the same time that we are, if you're interested in that too, that being kind of the leading edge there. So the things that are new in 2021.1, you may have heard of adaptive analytics. That's the integration that's powered by AtScale. So we have a hosted system that we're going to make available to you to use adaptive analytics. We have a data set. We're trying to get a couple more set up, but I'll take you through that and show you kind of what that is. In 21.1, we also made some changes, some SQL extensions for analytics. Some of that was to support the integration with AtScale. So there were changes both that AtScale made as well as in InterSystems when we did that integration. But there are some things that you can do in SQL that are just advantages for you just in using SQL as well. And then we made some performance improvements in InterSystems IRIS Business Intelligence as well. So that's another area, that's another component that's kind of part of this competition. And we maybe should have called that out at the beginning, but there's InterSystems IRIS BI, or Deep Sea, for those of you who know it that way. InterSystems IRIS NLP, or I know, which is part of the competition, adaptive analytics, and InterSystems Reports. So those are kind of the focus areas for the competition. I think, use whatever you want there, but that's kind of where we're focused. And the thing that I mentioned that's coming soon is we're actually doing validation right now of InterSystems Reports with adaptive analytics. So what you'll see with adaptive analytics is that it's a design area for you to build virtual cubes, and then you use different BI tools to get access to that. So that could be Power BI, Tableau, Excel, but we're also going to add InterSystems Reports to that list. So we have some draft documentation about how to set that up. But that's going to be an option too, of kind of an embedded reporting capability that you can use also with adaptive analytics, in addition to using it directly with IRIS. So that's kind of the overview, just a couple of slides here, and we do have a lot more on the website about what adaptive analytics is. We have a couple of recorded demos there, and I'll show you where we have a 2-hour kind of class lab if you've I don't know if you've maybe seen that before. But I think the thing that we see as a big advantage with adaptive analytics is really the ability to kind of continue to scale out and focus with a focus on kind of that BI user. So adaptive analytics does a number of things for us in terms of optimizing query optimization. So it does, and the other thing I should mention is all data with adaptive analytics continues to be stored in IRIS, and that was something that was really important in finding a partnership like this. So all of the aggregation that it does is stored inside of IRIS, as well as the source data. It's not moving anything around. It also has kind of this data model creator, which I'll show you, and helps us to get speed and scale really to those end BI users. This is just a high-level diagram of what that is. We're still doing a lot of work inside of IRIS when we're bringing different data sources in, and then we're designing those virtual cubes on top of InterSystems IRIS. And that's what the BI tools will point to is the adaptive analytics virtual cube. And they're going to run SQL. If it's Tableau, it's going to run MDX. If it's Excel, they'll run it against those virtual cubes, and then that will use SQL to come back either to the aggregate tables if it decides that's the best route, or directly to source data. So that's kind of a high level of what adaptive analytics is. So again, you may have seen some of this, just wanted to kind of run through that real quickly, just to kind of say what that is. And like I said, we have a hosted system that we're going to make available that has some data that's already loaded that you can then get your hands on. The other thing that we did in InterSystems IRIS 2021.1 was to provide a couple of SQL extensions. So we created window functions as well as user-defined aggregate functions. So things like weighted average or estimated count distinct there. The example on the right-hand side of this slide allows you to kind of aggregate in the process in the SQL itself. So as a single SQL call, it's showing both the departmental average as well as a department rank that's calculating as it's running the SQL. So all that can be built in to the SQL query. So this might be another area to experiment with as part of the competition as well. So that's just something we wanted to call out that, again, with our focus on kind of speed around this is, hopefully something that you can take advantage either as part of the competition or just in general. And then the last thing I mentioned as part of 21.1 is we did do some work with InterSystems IRIS BI to to improve query performance. So we believe that people will, obviously it depends a lot on the query, but what we saw internally was between 10 and 30% improvement. So we expect that should be good news for everybody. But again, that'll obviously depend a little bit on the kinds of queries that you're running. So just want to be real clear that we continue to invest particularly in performance in InterSystems IRIS BI. And then the last thing, InterSystems Reports, is something that we introduced about a year and a half ago now with IRIS 2020.1. And you can download that from the components area of the WRC download site, and we'll publish those temporary licenses. They're valid through the end of September to use with InterSystems Reports and an IRIS server. And we'll publish those, I think, on, where did we decide we're going to publish those, Evgeny? Trying to remember. Did we make a decision on that? Should I publish
Yes,
them in the chat?
we will share it in a Discord.
Okay,
in a
perfect.
community Discord. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. That's right.
In a
Okay,
channel
yeah.
for dedicated to the contest.
Yeah. So we'll put the links and the temporary licenses and stuff there, because there's a few links that you'll need for getting to adaptive analytics as well as for downloading the reports. Okay. So any questions on that before I move on to kind of show you a few things?
Yes,
Okay.
please ask your questions out loud or share it in the chat. We are happy to answer any questions. And actually, thank you, Carmen. These are exciting news to analytics developers with InterSystems technology. This is a really wonderful year. A lot of news, a lot of new enhancements. Okay, great.
Yeah. We've been, as you can see, we've been making a lot of investments in this area and are continuing to do so too. So let me walk through first adaptive analytics. As I mentioned, this is a hosted system that we're going to make available to you as well. And we have again a temporary logon that you can use. So ISC Temp 1 will publish that also in the Discord channel for the competition. And in general, I think the idea here is really to get your hands a little bit dirty with the AtScale server, and we do have a training session about think about a 2-hour lab that just kind of takes you through how to use the canvas and do cube design, virtual cube design here. I'm not sure if it's quite available yet, so we'll keep you updated in Discord about whether that becomes available if you haven't done that class before. So what we have here when you come in as ISC Temp, you'll see a number of projects, and that's one thing I'll just call out here is that you will have you will be able to kind of see all the projects. We'll probably eliminate a few of them. This is actually not the IRIS server that we're using, so you don't have to worry about that error message, but it will keep coming up. And so we're going to make we're still working on a couple of data sets for you, but the one that you can use right away is called Sales Insights. Okay, and what I'd ask you to do when you're using it is actually click on the duplicate over here, make your own project, just add your initials or some other way to identify it so we can kind of keep out of each other's different projects. So make a duplicate of that. Don't use this one. And that's where you can work with it. So what you'll have is you'll see you've got the project, and then you'll have a set of cubes that you can create. Okay, and there's just a few things here to point out. You've got your measures and dimensions, and actually let me go into the project itself. Show me. Yeah. Sec. Okay. So if I go to, actually one thing that will be important to know when you're getting ready to work with the BI tool is when you're ready to, sorry, wrong thing. Actually what I want to do is go into this cube. So I'm going to enter the model for this cube, and this is where you can see, kind of what the canvas looks like. So the blue here is your fact table. You'll see the gray is degenerate dimensions, and the green is dimensions. So you can see over on actually one thing to call out here too, which is kind of nice, is if you do want to look through some of the tutorials, it does take you through how to publish, create member measures, do a few things like that. So you can do that, and it's mostly text with a little bit of a video that kind of, or a animated information there, so you can kind of go through those if you want a quick tutorial. The other thing, actually just moving around this canvas, you can drag things around. You can organize things a little bit if you want, and you can actually zoom in and zoom out. And the canvas is infinite, so if you drag it somewhere, just hit on that arrange items again, and it'll get you back on track. It's just something that I found was helpful. The other thing that I find helpful is this, the cube data preview. So I can do things like, you can pull different dimensions. So it just gives you a sense, you can kind of see the data a little bit. So if you want to look at, I'm looking here at the customer month, and then order quantity and sales amount, and then you can just run that query to get a sense of what that's going to look like just from within this application itself. So just another thing that I find kind of helpful as you're working with the canvas. And then once you get ready to publish it, you'll see that you can just hit publish from the project, and then right here you can hit publish, and then when you're ready to use the BI tools, you can actually, yeah, hold on a sec, back.
Carmen, if you are looking for published zone, so it's below. Yeah,
Oh, there it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So you go to the published cube, and then you click on connect. And then that'll tell you, how to get to, for Tableau, it creates a TDS file that you can use. And then for Excel, you can use the MDX string. And actually for InterSystems Reports, you'll use the JDBC string here. So you'll need that stuff. And that's how you connect to the BI tools. So I know that was kind of a quick tour. Evgeny, anything else you think we should cover with the adaptive analytics piece? Just to give people a sense for what that is.
I think this is fine. So I just want to highlight that you are able to use whatever cubes you will find on this server. And as Carmen mentioned, so feel free to duplicate it, name it with your name, and go ahead and publish, and then create a solution. Yes, and also you are able to create a totally new cube from scratch that connects to some server with IRIS, and you can get the data using just JDBC connector. So you will be able to build an arbitrary advanced analytics solutions with AtScale and IRIS, adaptive analytics solutions. Yes, and as Carmen mentioned, for the visualization layer, you are welcome to use Excel, just simple Excel, or some Power BI, or some BI tools like Tableau and Power BI.
And actually, I don't know. Yeah. The other thing I'd mention with that is, if you're using Excel or Power BI, you have to be on either a Windows machine or a Windows VM. Right. You can't use Excel from a Mac. Yeah.
Yes, and also, I think Logi will be able to connect to AtScale, and so I think we will share some information on that later this week or next week.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah, just a couple other things I'll mention here around. So we do have this Adaptive Analytics Essentials training session. So with a lab, we also have an InterSystems Reports training. I think the labs are right now not available, but these are. We'll let you know again in the channel when these do become available. So those are both under the learning.intersystems.com. And for reports, that's available from the WRC download under the components area. And so you just search for report, and the latest version is 17.1. And you'll need the designer, at least the designer, if you want to publish it to the server, to a server, you'll need that as well. But you could do the whole thing just using the designer with an IRIS instance, and you can preview things from that as well. As an example. All right. Yeah, so those are the other things I think just to share. And as Evgeny said, we will have some documentation that tells you how to connect InterSystems reports through to AtScale or to adaptive analytics as well. That'll come a little bit later this week.
Mm-hmm. And also we will share the temporary license for InterSystems Reports also in a Discord channel, so that you will be able to use it for the contest, to build InterSystems Report solutions for this contest. And as always, we expect your contributions to the contest as open source. So Carmen, do we want to have a demo on Logi or like InterSystems Reports? Yes. So how you can make
good
it?
point.
We have a lot of tools, right?
We do have a lot of tools. Yeah.
Yes. So this was like adaptive analytics with AtScale and InterSystems. Yes, and also we will share. You are welcome to submit analytic solutions that are like report solutions using InterSystems Reports, also known as Logi, right? So do you have any questions for AtScale phase? Because we are gonna demo another tool. So yes, as we said, please don't hesitate to submit your questions in the chat or out loud. So Carmen, no questions. Okay. Just let me know if you're ready to show InterSystems
Actually,
Reports.
I just need to start up.
Okay.
Start up one other thing. So let me.
I can point at the moment what actually we see as an analytic solution for InterSystems IRIS. So with any analytic solutions, you will definitely need data, of course, right? So in InterSystems IRIS, and then you can use either adaptive analytics or IRIS BI for cubes, and then for the visualization with AtScale, you are welcome to use Tableau, Power BI, Excel, or for example, InterSystems Reports, or you can go straight with InterSystems Reports as a reporting solution. And also, you're welcome to submit for the contest IRIS BI solutions. That IRIS BI is technology that you can find inside InterSystems IRIS. And Carmen, what do you think if I demo IRIS BI for a while? So how to?
Actually, I think I am ready now. If we
you okay?
Yeah. Thank you
for InterSystems Reports.
Yeah. So sorry about that. Let's back. I didn't have all my windows in the right place. To start up. All right. Let me share again. And we do have some recorded, I think, demos of this as well. And this is actually what I'm using the Whole Foods data set here. And this is actually, I think this is the report that we used as part of the for the tutorial, or for the 45-minute lab session that we have. So yeah, the basic idea with Logi reports is that you're creating reports that people are going to run regularly. It's much more of a kind of a static reporting rather than like a dashboarding kind of thing that's getting real-time updates. It's also the other thing that we do with InterSystems Reports, I think that's a real advantage, is that it allows you to schedule reports so they can get pushed out in email or PDF or XLS, you know, lots of different formats as well. But the kind of the IDE here, or the design, you have, you know, in general, what I've done is I have a SQL query from Whole Foods over here. I can add things like summaries or new formulas, all of that kind of stuff. There's also a built-in tutorial with this as well, if you want to kind of walk through that. When you log in, you'll see that as an option when you first install the product, and you can get back to it as well. And you'll see there's a lot of options here. But you can, you know, so you can do things like bring fields over, add labels. You'll see this one is it's just I've got some headers in here, some banded headers, and you'll add the different data over here. If I turn on, let's look at the inspector, you can kind of get a lot more data about what each of these fields are, so I can see, you know, where it's coming from, as well as do things like change the text color, you know, bold it, all that kind of stuff is available from here. So you can do all that, and then that's while you're in kind of the design phase, and then you can get a view of it, of what it's going to look like in, you know, if you switch over to the View tab. So you get a quick look at that. It's also got, if we want to look at more summary information, you can see this one it's a little more, it's got a little more design with it. You know, you can add visual images, as well as, you know, this is a summary one, so I can create this and then, you know, allow it to do some drill down, that kind of stuff. We've got also a, you know, bar charts. This one, you can preview some of it. You're not going to see, there's a selection by product over here. So I'm going to hit, when I hit view on that, you'll see I've got products by region. When I see this on the server, I'll be able to kind of select from this item over here, from this thing that I've added. And actually that's, if we look at components, go back to the design screen, you'll see this is actually just a component that I can bring in, some of these different web controls over here. So there's, again, this is also, there's a lot of different options here. There's as I said, there's a tutorial that comes with this. If you haven't used it, if you haven't used InterSystems Reports before, that I'd recommend. And then, like I said, there's the training that we have as well on learning.intersystems.com. So, yeah.
Okay, great, thank you, Carmen. And the connection to IRIS is the same GDBC, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Carmen.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and that, well, with the instructions to connect to AtScale, you'll see it's when it connects to AtScale, it's actually using a Hive driver. So yeah, so that's if you're connecting directly to IRIS, it's JDBC.
I think this is the same Hive driver you need if you're on Mac and you want to connect to connect your Tableau to IRIS. To AtScale, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
To AtScale,
okay,
yes,
great.
That's right.
Okay, great. So and you mentioned that the data source in this InterSystems Reports sample was Whole Foods. Maybe you have a question, okay, where can I get a Whole Foods, because IRIS comes without any samples, data, and so on. So let's go through the options we provide for this contest with the sample data. So now I will share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen? Yes, I hope you do. A second. Okay. So I go to developer community and open this community.intersystemscom, open events tab with the analytics contest. So we try to let you find this information easily. And yes, indeed, we have this post InterSystems IRIS analytics contest. Actually, it's a series of posts. So please follow this. And here we have the information on where you can obtain the sample data. For example, sample data, like Carmen mentioned, it's Whole Foods, can be found with this module, samples BI. So you simply can copy this ZPM installation command and open your IRIS then in like terminal and type it and have it installed. Like let's demo it, for example. So I will open terminal. Sure. Yes, and just type the command I copied from Open Exchange site, and it should install this package for me with all the data and to build all the cubes and generate the data. So I will be able, for example, to work with this instance of IRIS to build InterSystems Reports solutions. Yes, you can see it. It generates the data. Okay, what are the other options of data sets? Also, as Carmen mentioned when we in her story about adaptive analytics and AtScale server, so you will be able to use data sets, for example, like this circle click-through and clickstream and sales insights, and also there is a famous like AdventureWorks dataset that can be downloaded from Microsoft site. Here is a zip archive. It's a set of SQL commands. So sorry about that. Eventually.
Hey, Evgeny, I can't hear you. Is everybody else able to hear Evgeny?
No, I lost him as well.
Okay. Evgeny, can you hear us? Oh.
What about now?
Oh, that's good. Yep.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, because everything was fine for me. Sorry. So I'm saying that you can use also Synthea package to generate health data about patients, their story on analysis data if you want to build your analytic solution against healthcare data. And actually, any questions so far? Also, you can import data into IRIS, and you can do it via JDBC or DBC driver. And also, you can use CSV Gen or CSV Gen UI tools that will generate a class and data for you against an arbitrary CSV file. So you can check with CSV Gen UI. You see if you install this package, you can you see this animation, right? So you can just drag and drop a CSV, and it will guess on the fields. It will create a class for you in IRIS, and it will load the data. So it will do everything you need to start building analytics solutions. Okay, any questions for that? Perfect. Also, I want to mention that there is a bunch of examples and samples here on this page. So here you can see like the video that Carmen mentioned about adaptive analytics in action, a set of resources regarding InterSystems reports, like course videos, and how to deploy with containers and things like that. Also, a set of examples to build examples of analytics solutions with IRIS BI, a number of that. And also, maybe you want to build your solution using InterSystems NLP technology, also known as iKnow. And here is a link to iKnow as a product and to a set of samples that are related to InterSystems NLP. Perfect. So also speaking about data sets, you are also able to use the data of posts and comments from developer community. So maybe you will find it useful because maybe it is always more interesting to deal with the real data. And so we created a package that is called like DC posts and tags. So it is here, posts and tags data set. And I will show you how you can build an IRIS BI solutions in 5 minutes against this data set. So for this, we will need a template, IRIS BI template, and so we go to like IRIS Analytics contest page, and we start from scratch. We take IRIS Analytics template. It's on a GitHub, and we say, okay, let's use this template, and we create a new repository. Okay, so I created from, I just literally copy this to a new repository on a GitHub, and I copy this line to clone it in my Visual Studio Code. I open a new window, then clone it. Okay, and actually we will change port here, just with unique, and we'll start Docker container with IRIS, and we'll start building the IRIS BI solution. Just checking, can you hear me now? So if everything works fine, yeah, perfect. So if you have any questions for now, please go ahead. Actually, we already have IRIS image baked, so this is great. So what we need here now that we need to connect to this. So we click on Object Script menu and see now that we have some application-related menus, so we can check what we have here. So it's an analytics sample for IRIS BI, so it already contains some sample solution. It's okay, just let you know that it works, all the components. So we have some COVID related. I will not even open this because we will start building from scratch, but we have tools working. Perfect. So for this, we will need a data set to open sorry about that. So we will need an IRIS terminal. And I will take this data set, post and tasks, this data set line, so copy and install it here. It will go with the freshly built globals from developer community. So, okay, I have the data. Perfect. So if we want to check what is the data, so we can open management portal, go to the System Explorer, to SQL, and see the schema is community, and tables are like posts. Yes, we have posts with all the texts. Perfect, amazing. And also we have similar comments then. Okay, now let's build IRIS BI solution. You are supposed to, when you build IRIS BI solution, you are supposed to create cube, then pivots with MDX queries, and then dashboards. And you are supposed to do it. You can do it, of course, manually with architect, analyzer, and dashboard. But now also we can use generators, and we will go this way with generators because I have only 5 minutes, as you remember. Okay, so we can create. We can create a cube definition with deep sea wizard utils that accepts class name with the data, the name of the cube, and the name of the class that will be created for a cube. Okay, we go to this demo line, and I click this, and 1 means that there are no errors with that. So we created this. Okay, great. Next, we need to compile the new class that was generated. Let's compile it. Great, it was compiled. So we have a cube generated. Let's check if we have it. Let's open architect with a standard system sys password. It's locally, so it's safe. And if we open, we indeed have posts cube generated. So we have system generated for us cube with dimensions and measures with some rules. But basically, the dimensions are some categorical and measures are some numeric and digital properties. Perfect. And then now we need pivots and dashboards. And here we will use another wonderful library from Open Exchange that is named Analyze This. Like Analyze This. Okay, here is it. Analyze This. And let's install Analyze This with ZPM install this. Okay, I have it installed, and Analyze This contains generator for dashboards, like generate dash, and so I call it. So it says 0, but that means 0 errors in this case. So, okay, we also need to build the cube, right? Let's build the cube. Okay, and let's open it if we have something generated here. no, maybe I should generate the cube. So it's generate dash. Yes, now it's 1, so it needed the data. Okay, generated, and we have samples for the post cube. Okay, for example, so it generated dashboards just upon measures and dimensions it found in a cube. So, for example, here we see that an average number of views.
All right, looks like we might have lost Evgeny again. Are you there?
Back?
There,
Am I
now you're back. You're back, yep.
From which you can follow them, and if you check like what do we have here, so we can click on InterSystems object script extension and see the classes like community, and then like other like all these dashboards created and exported. So any questions so far? I'll stop sharing. And you can you hear me?
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay, perfect. So if you have any questions, we are happy to answer. Please go ahead. Okay. Thank you, Evgeny. Yes. So as I'm saying, so it's very easy to build IRIS BI solutions. So you can even do it in 5 minutes, and to apply this. But actually, don't hesitate to join the Discord and ask questions there. So Discord can be found. Let me check. Where is our Discord? Discord channel. Okay, I shared in a chat a link to Discord, and there is a channel that is dedicated to the content, and we together with Carmen and other product managers related to InterSystems analytics solutions, we are happy to answer any of your questions. So raise it there, and you will have like 2 weeks to contribute your analytics solution, and there will and 1 more week for judgment and fixing bugs. And the solutions should be, as always, open source. Yes, and there is also on the contest page there is a video on how to apply the solution and what are the other requirements. Okay. So if there are no questions, so together with Carmen, we want to say thank you for your attention this week and today, and we promise to feed you with other recipes how to build adaptive analytics and InterSystems reports and IRIS BI solutions against InterSystems IRIS, and maybe some data sets. And so let's be in touch. And I wish you luck in the contest and a lot of fun and new experience with InterSystems IRIS. Okay. Thank you very much. And the recording of this video will be published on InterSystems developers YouTube channel. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much.